So are we ready for today? Yes. Today is a really good one. And today is something that, like, we're starting to get into the nitty-gritty now of what I actually deal with my clients when we do our one-to-ones. And this is genuinely one of the biggest questions I get. And it's about people who are feeling really unsure about their future. And I hear it so many times in midlife. People feel lost, they feel stuck, they just do not know what they're going to be doing. And one of the biggest questions I get is, how do I find that? How do I find my purpose? How do I find my direction? Because I just feel lost. And if you've read my story, then you will know that that is exactly where I was. So back in not 19, geez, that's a long time ago. Back in 2017, end of 2017, I sold my business. I moved 200 miles away to a new city, leaving my home that was there and starting a new home with my husband and everything. But my kids had gone to university at this point. So I found myself in a situation whereby I had no business. I'd sold it. I had no job. I'd moved 200 miles away and my kids had left home. And I ended up having a midlife crisis because I had no idea what direction my life was taking, and I had no idea what purpose I had in life. And it took me a long time to find it. So I now really want you guys to be able to find this so much quicker than I could. And if I'd have found somebody like me out there all those years ago, I probably would have done. And so this is why I do these masterclasses, because this isn't just for people who can afford to come and work with me one-to-one. This is for everybody, and it is an essential part of midlife. So hopefully over the next 27 minutes or so, you are going to gain some value from this. This is the idea. So apologies if you're not used to me. I talk with my hands all the time. I try really hard not to, but I can't do it. So let's start. When we talk about finding your direction and your purpose in midlife, we're referring to that process of rediscovering and redefining what gives your life meaning, and then aligning your actions and your goals with that sense of meaning as you navigate all of the changes that are happening at this stage of our life. So let me split it into two. Direction refers to the path or the course that you choose to follow in life. So you'll hear me talk a lot about finding your new path. And this is basically the direction that you want to go in your life. And it's about understanding where you want to go and then how you plan to get there. So that's direction. Then we get purpose. And you'll hear people talk about purpose in life. What's my purpose in life? I don't know what my purpose. It's a real tricky thing. So purpose is defined by, it's that deeper sense of meaning that drives your actions and gives you a reason to get up in the morning. So it's not a job. It's not even the path you choose. It's that deeper sense of meaning. It's about knowing what's truly important to you and how you want to contribute to the world. So when I think about purpose, and it's like that kind of heartfelt, the things that matter to you, the instantaneous link that I make is to your personal values. So it's deeply interconnected to your personal values. So for example, and you've probably seen this in any of my posts, or if you don't know about this, I'm just going to talk about it very quickly. Our values change throughout our lives. So when you are in your 20s and you're no longer a child, you're moving into adulthood, then your values will very much be around the growth that you want to see as you grow up. So you might have a really important part of your life, maybe career development. You might be sitting there thinking, I want to achieve this in my career. I want to do this in my career. I want to earn this much money by the time I'm 27, 28, whatever. The next thing is you may value the security of having a house. And through our lives, what we do is we buy a house in our 20s, hopefully, And then we buy a house in our 30s where we put more money on the mortgage, and then we buy another house in our 40s and 50s. And then you suddenly get to 50 and you're like, I've got this 4-bedroomed house and I've got no one living in it. And so our values change. And so that link is really deeply interconnected. And that's why when we hit midlife, we have to kind of reassess what our purpose is. So your core values are your beliefs and your principles that guide your behavior, your decisions, your interactions. And they represent what is most important to you in life. And purpose is that expression of those values in action. It's the way in which you live out what you believe in and what you care about. So as I say, as we see that shift in our personal values, where, you know, we now see that your purpose is also no longer aligned to where you are. So finding direction and purpose in midlife really means reassessing your current path, your current direction, understanding whether it still aligns with your values and your desires, because what do you actually want out of life, and reconnecting with what makes you feel alive and fulfilled, and making any necessary adjustments along the way. So the idea is that once you find your purpose, you find your life, you're going to be living this fantastic, amazing, fulfilled life where everything is fantastic, happy and shiny. To do that, there are lots of ways of doing it, and I'm going to go through a few with you right now. So I'm going to very quickly just go through why midlife is such a critical time for finding direction and purpose, and I've kind of just touched on it, but there's really a couple of main things. And the first one is life transitions. So midlife is a time where I believe we have some of the most significant changes in our lives. We have empty nest. We have career transitions, because all of a sudden we realize we're not fulfilled in our career anymore. We have relationship shifts, because some of us sit there and go like, I actually have nothing in common with this person I've been with for 30 years. We've grown apart, but we've stayed together for our kids. And then the kids have left, you're left with that. You might even have health challenges at this time. Certainly, we have that beautiful M word that comes up. And menopause can cause so many other things for us to think about. And it makes us feel, what's the word? Unmoored. It makes us feel uncertain about our future. And then because of this and because of the way that it happens, we tend to have a lot of reflection and a lot of reevaluation during this time of our lives. And people start to ask deeper questions. Like for me, I was asking the question, is this it? Is this it? Is this my life? And then what's next? There has to be something else. I was 47 when my midlife crisis hit me. 47, I have a lifetime ahead of me. So there's a lot of reevaluation goes on. And then once you kind of start reevaluating and you start to see this reflection, then actually you see it as an absolute opportunity for growth. And whilst it may feel really disorientating, it also offers us that unique opportunity where we can concentrate on us for a change. Our kids they're concentrating on them. It's time for us to think about ourselves and what do we really want. And it's an absolutely fantastic time to start these new journeys. We're still young enough to embark on a new journey. We still have a little bit of va-va-voom left, and let's use it. So let's go back. Purpose is the sense of meaning and direction in life. It's the feeling that your life has significance, that your actions and that your choices actually matter, and that you are working towards something that is deeply meaningful. And that's hugely important. So it often ties into our values, our passions, and it's about the impact we want to make on the world. I mean, what impact do we want to make on the world? What do you want to have written on your tombstone or in your eulogy? You want to say you've done something. So this is what we're talking about today. And if I say to you, why is it important? So who cares? Why is it important that we know our purpose? Well, as you can see, when I talk about it, it's that deep meaning, it's that deep significance, it's that I want to make an impact. But the reality is, that actually having a purpose in life, knowing your purpose in life, actually provides a deep sense of satisfaction and of fulfillment. And that's what we all want in life. We want to feel fulfilled in our lives. And that is what having a purpose does. It makes you feel like your life has some meaning. You're not just bumbling through life, like existing. It acts like a compass. Having a purpose is like, there's my North Star. I know where I'm heading. I know what direction I need to be going in. And it helps you to make decisions and helps you to actually stay firm with your actions. So you can prioritize your goals when you know what your purpose is. And when you do have goals and you know that's where you want to go, then do you know what it also does? It gives you the motivation to keep going through those tough times, of which we know there are many. Studies have actually shown that having a purpose is linked to better mental health, lower rates of depression, and higher overall life satisfaction. So, you know, having a purpose gives you that kind of buffer against stress and anxiety. It gives you a reason to move forward when there's challenges ahead. And having a purpose often also involves contributing to something bigger, like the bigger picture. It's more than just you. It's more than just a job. It's giving back to society. It's working in communities. It's always about giving back. And the great news is, ladies, that research has also shown that having a purpose in life actually elongates your life. So research has shown that people with a strong sense of purpose live longer. So if nothing else, we need to find our purpose and we need to find our direction, because it is the driving force that gives our life meaning. It helps us understand our place in the world, and it motivates us to pursue our goals and enriches everything that we do. Like, I cannot believe that anyone doesn't want to do this. So now you understand about purpose, because I get asked the question so many times, what is purpose? Do I need one? Should I have one? You know, when everyone says, oh, it's my purpose in life. Well, I haven't got one. Should I have one? So this is what purpose is. Now we know what it is. Now let's get to the crux of this masterclass. How do you find your purpose? So this is where I'm going to give you some tips, and I'm actually going to put these in a PDF version in our group, so you can go back and you can work through them, because there are like 11 steps, and you can't do everyone on this masterclass today because we're going too quickly. You will need a journal, or at least a pen and a paper. Now, any single solitary lady that has been in my presence doing any of my one-to-ones, even just having the power hour with me, you will know that I bang on constantly about journaling. I bang on constantly about journaling because, quite frankly, if I didn't actually bang on about journaling, you wouldn't do it. And it is the most important thing in the world. So I really, really, really need to do it. By the way, hi, Kate. Hi, Anna. I've just seen that you're on here. Hi, Sheena. Hi, Bridget. I am so sorry I haven't seen you. My comments haven't been coming up. So Anna, you can vouch for this. I bang on constantly about you journaling. You need your journal for this. Step 1, finding your purpose. You need to understand where you are right now. So in this moment in your life, where are you? Now, to do that, you need to ask the questions. And I want you to start by asking yourself, what feels unfulfilled? So let's not worry right now about what you want. Let's look at what's not happening for you. What aspects of your life feel stagnant or unsatisfying? What parts of your life are really pissing you off? Are there roles, activities, relationships, people that are no longer serving you that you need to get rid of in your life? You might not know how, but like, are there people out there that we need to get rid of? And if there are, that's our first thing. We need to write this down. And this is the important question. What do you feel is missing in your life right now? Only you know the answer to that one, because for every single person, it is different. So what is missing in your life right now? And then the second stage of this okay, is I want you to acknowledge those life transitions. So I want you to recognize the changes that have happened in your life over the last year, 2 years, as you've entered into midlife. So what significant changes have you experienced? So like I said to you right at the beginning, my kids, I moved. I was that person who like left home when my kids went to uni. So I laugh about it. But even so, I lost my children in that process. I mean, they're still my children. I spent the weekend with one of them. But they leave home. They don't need you anymore. You're no longer mum in the way that you have been. You're no longer clearing up after them and moaning 24/7 because now they've grown up and they've gone. You know, what else? Are you having a career shift? I sold my business. I had nothing. I had no job. And you will not run out of ink. You can keep doing this. It's amazing. What about your relationship changes? I got remarried when I was 43. And it was a big change for me. I'd been on my own. I'd been a single mum for a long time. So that was a big change for me. And it's kind of like, how do those relationship changes affect you? What's gone on? Where are you? Things like that. I also moved, yeah, huge change, Kate. I also moved nearer to my parents. So I kind of inherited two elderly people that needed my help, which, to be fair, it was lovely. They're my parents, but I'd lived 200 miles away. That wasn't my problem. That was like a phone call once a week. And now it was like, can you take me here? Can you take me there? These life transitions really do impact you. And when you've identified them, I want you to actually then think about how they have impacted your sense of identity. Like I say, I was no longer a mum. I'm always going to be a mum because I gave birth to two kids, but I was no longer mum how they needed me to be mum. I was no longer a business owner. I no longer had staff. I no longer had to worry about things. I actually really had a crisis of identity. I didn't know who I was. How has it affected you? And, how do you feel about those changes? Do you feel lost? Do you feel excited because it's an opportunity? Do you feel confused? Do you feel relieved? There's a whole load of emotions because at the end of the day, everyone's going to experience these emotions differently, and then I want you to ask the poignant question, are there any emotions you've been avoiding that need to be addressed? Because until we get those emotions out onto a bit of paper and you've just been avoiding them, you can't actually deal with them. So I want you to get all this out. So this is like step one. We've got 11 steps to go through, girls. So step one, get all this out, get it into your journal. Let's go through it. The next thing I want you to do, and this is something that, again, I bang on quite a lot about, is I want you to reconnect with your core values. Now, in the resource I'm going to put below, I'm actually going to put a website address that is called personalvalue.es, and you can go on and do a free test on there. That I've done it, and it genuinely is very, very true to form. You pick your values that you think you have, it then gives you some questions, you get there. There's also a resource already in our group, which is a personal values exercise where you can go through. Understanding your core values is paramount when it understands where you want to go in life. And this is the thing. So if your core value is family, for example, you will never be able to do something that takes you away from your family. You'll be able to do it, but you won't be able to do it for long. If your core value is financial security, you will not feel happy going working as a carer for £8 an hour. It is not going to happen. And so you have to be really honest. And all of the things that I'm giving you today, you need to do these independently on your own because it's you. It's nobody else that's involved in here. But I recommend that you reassess your core values every year, every 2 years, and especially when you're going through times of change, because they can change so quickly. So I'm going to put the resource in here. You can go through this and you'll find it interesting. It will give you your 5 top core values. And as I say, they're really, really good, and they do definitely reflect what I am. So when you've got your core values, I then want you to do a bit of a core value assessment, because I want you to look at your current life. And how well do your current activities, your roles, and your relationships actually align with your core values? You know, are there any areas of misalignment where you're actually compromising on your values? And how does that make you feel? So again, you're journaling this, you're getting there. Once we've got all of this out, because this is about putting a line in the sand, then we start to get into some more of the exciting things. And the next part, so this is like your next step of journaling, and I love doing this. I want you to revisit your childhood dreams and your passions. And the reason that I get you to do this is because, believe it or not, you may find your purpose in the things that you loved when you were a kid, when you didn't have those pressures of finance and family, and I have to get a job and I have to do this. Though you dreamt about what you wanted to do. And those dreams may well actually give you that helping hand to find what you truly love in life. You know, so go through, what did you love as a kid? What did you want to be? Do you remember being asked that question as a child? What do you want to be when you grow up? You know, and be really honest. Do any of those still resonate with you? I mean, I really wanted to be an airline pilot. Can't tell you how much I wanted to be an airline pilot. And then I got to 18 years old and they stopped recruiting into all commercial airlines for 7 years. That was my dream that died. So I didn't do it. But if I think about how that can be adapted to my current life, you know, kind of like, do I actually still want to be an airline pilot? Probably not. But look beyond that. What did that actually mean? You know, so say, for example, you want to be an astronaut when you were growing up. What does it actually mean? It's like, did you just have that desire for adventure, exploration, discovery? Because I genuinely just want to travel the world. That's what I want to do. And so maybe me wanting to be an airline pilot was me saying, I want to go and travel the world. And so how can you bring that essence into your life, even in a different form? So that one I love. And just let yourself go back to when you were a child, all of the things. And when I'm talking about child, I'm talking about when you were a little child, I'm talking about when you were a teenager, I'm talking about when you were getting into adolescence. Think back, what were the things you really wanted to do? You know, and you'll be amazed at what comes out. I went to college when I was 16 years old for an open day with the intention of signing up to do psychology and sociology. And at the open day, I met a lovely lady called Pauline, who is still a friend of mine today, who taught maths. And she convinced me that I should do maths. So I did. I signed up and I did maths, and I got 4 maths A levels. And I went on to do an accounting degree, and I went on to work in finance for a blue chip company, etc., etc. Now, it took me 34 years to get back into psychology and sociology, but it's always been there. I just forgot that that's what I wanted to do. So you'll be amazed at what's in there. The next thing, number 4, is I want you to start exploring new interests and curiosities. So think about what excites you. What do you do? I know Anna is on this call now, and Anna, you know, she's retrained to be a celebrant, which is an amazing role. And it's just beautiful that she wants to do something like that. So something you retrain is something you go, actually, that really excites me. Other things you've always wanted to try, but you haven't had the chance to explore, you know, follow them. Spend some time learning new things or trying out new hobbies or seeing what's going on, because anything that is going to excite you, that sparks your interest and sparks your passion, could be where your purpose is hiding. Whilst you're doing all of this, number 5, I put it in here as number 5 because I need you to do that. Let go of expectations. Okay, experiment without pressure. Allow yourself to go and dip your toes into new interests, new passions, new curiosities, without the pressure that this is going to be your new purpose. Okay, because sometimes just going and finding out is amazing and it gives you so much, but it may not be your purpose. You know, be open to failing, be open to learning. Not every exploration is going to lead to this newfound purpose, but every single thing you try will teach you something. All right. It might be that you go, oh no, that's not for me. Or it might be that actually that may not be for me. But when I was doing that, I found this, and that is what I want to do. Okay. Step 6 is doing some visualization and some future visioning. Now, I'm also going to put into here a visualization, guided visualization. So it's about 5 minutes. If we get time at the end, I would do it, but I think we're going to be running out of time. So I'm going to put it in here. You can listen to it at your own speed, at your own desire. You can do whatever. It is really worth going through this visualization and just seeing what comes up for you. Yeah, you will get the work, Hannah. You really will. But when you're doing your visualizations, I want you to visualize your ideal future. Okay, that's what I'm aiming for you to do. So that, as I say, I'll put that in the notes and you'll be able to get that. And then start a vision board. You know, if you've never done a vision board, they're actually quite exciting. You can do them in Canva, you can do them digitally. I like a cork board with pins. I like to stick things on there. I like to look at magazines and think about where I want to go. You can print things off the internet, do whatever. I really like having it visually in front of me to say, what do I want to do? And it really helps you to start to clarify what you want, and also to look at what your current restraints are or your current constraints and see where it is or what limiting beliefs you've got. Yeah, okay, I love a proper tactile vision board. I think they're amazing. When you've gone through these exercises, so you've looked at new interests, you looked at old interests, you've done your visualization, you're thinking about it, you've got your vision board, then I want you to pull it all together and I want you to look to see if there's any recurring themes. What keeps coming up for you? You know, are there any desires where the underlying theme is the same? What stands out as most important to you? You know, these can often point to the direction of your purpose. And also, your feelings matter. So when you're looking through this, when you're doing your visualization, don't just think, oh, I can see that then. What are you feeling? Because the emotions that get invoked, the emotions that you go like, oh my God, I love that idea. You know, I think that's amazing. It makes me feel full when I do that. Helping people. What is it about helping people? And you know, you'll start to see it when you see what's going on. You need to look through things and behind things, and you will get there. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to start to seek inspiration and start looking at role models. So look at people who are in midlife, have changed their lives. You know, I'm actually in a virtual room today with 4 people who have all changed their lives. You are all inspirational to me. But look outside of that box. Who else has done this? You know, it's absolutely incredible to think of all the people that did nothing until they're 50. You know, the guy who founded McDonald's didn't do it until he was 50. You know, so there are so many people out there who don't do things until they're a lot older, and we need to, you know, we need to be doing this. We need to be looking at this inspiration and say, what's out there? How can we do it? Read those inspiring stories, listen to podcasts, listen to people who change their lives. You know, I listen to Diary of a CEO quite regularly. It is our time to shine, but I listen to Diary of a CEO quite regularly, and there was a fantastic episode. This was 2 years ago with the guy who used to be the SEO of Google, and he's basically changed his life. Lots of things happened to him and he's changed his life. And his purpose in life is to make people happy. That's his purpose in life. And he actually set himself targets that he wanted to make 10 million people happy. If you've not listened to it, it's amazing. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. You know, he had money, he had everything. His values changed, everything changed. It's incredible. So listen to podcasts like that, find that inspiration. Engage in conversations, connect with like-minded people. If you ladies that are wanting to change your lives and not sure about their purpose, then please, please, please come and join some of the fantastic groups that we're in. Like I'm in groups like Women in Business with Andrea Rainsford, you know, lots of these networking groups. And if you are interested, drop me a note. I will give you the information to the networking groups that I'm in. Network, network, network. The world is full of midlife women like us who actually have taken a power, and we are doing something. We've found a purpose, and you will find inspiration from them. I find inspiration every day. So engage in those conversations. And then I want you to embrace uncertainty. You need to embrace it, because you know what? We don't have a clue what's going to happen. And if you need to have certainty, you may never find your purpose, because if it was in line with everything that you've done so far in your life, you'd already know what it was. Getting outside your comfort zone, embracing a little bit of uncertainty, and being open to new suggestions kind of tells me that that is where you are going to find your purpose. Because as I say, otherwise you'd have already stumbled across it. You know, it's not always going to be straightforward. You're going to take some detours. You're not going to find answers immediately, but you've got to live by that. That's what it is. Allow yourself to explore and to reflect, and stay open to change. Be flexible, okay? And most importantly, you need to adopt a growth mindset, because I'm left it to the last because it's one of the biggest. But if you are in a fixed mindset that nothing is ever going to change, you are going to be doing this for the rest of your days. You wouldn't be here listening to this. And if you are here listening to this and you think nothing is ever going to change, then you need to come on a call with myself or with Bridget or with Kate or with any of us midlife coaches out there that will show you instantaneously that you can change your mindset. By changing your thoughts, you can change your reality. Because if you change your thoughts, you change your feelings. You change your feelings, you change your actions. You change your actions, you change your reality. That's a growth mindset. We need to be embracing that. So those are my 11 steps to finding direction and purpose in midlife. As I say, I'm going to drop the things in the notes below, or they will be in our guides, and you will have the information that you need. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really hope that you got something out of it. I've tried to cram so much into half an hour. This is probably the core of my one-to-one training that I do, and it takes at least 4 weeks to actually get this out for you. So thank you so much. Thank you for being part of this. I really, really appreciate you coming and viewing. Love to you all. I will see you all soon. Take care. Bye bye.